Today we would like to tell you about the Amazfit GTR 47mm international version. Link to the purchase is in the description. I used them for a while as the main watch and ready to tell you everything that I got to know during the exploitation. At the same time, I will compare Amazfit GTR 47mm with Amazfit Stratos, as we often get questions in Facebook groups regarding the best choice to buy for everyday use in sports. Let's deal with specifics together. Amazfit GTR is delivered in a black box already familiar to Xiaomi users. Inside there is a white box made of thick cardboard, and the watch itself is waiting for us inside of it. The package includes the watch with a strap, we will talk about it in detail, charging a magnetic platform with a fairly long USB cable and instruction in several languages. Design. The watch has a rather pleasant recognizable design, and at first glance, they may look very similar to the Huawei Watch GT, but everything is not so simple. It is available in 3 versions with the only difference case material. The back cover of the case is made of plastic. Here we may see 2 charging contacts and an optical sensor. The case and bezel are made of aviation aluminum. We have just the same model within our review. There are also versions with the stainless steel and titanium case. The last one is still not available for purchase. There are 2 buttons on the right side made of the same material as the case. The belt in all versions of the models will be the same. It is made of plastic that is smooth to the touch and decorated with faux leather. All this together makes the watch looks more classic and strict. The belt is of high quality and may be in use for quite a long time. But in my opinion, it is rather rough and goes badly around the wrist, which may cause some discomfort. But this can be easily solved by purchasing any other belt of 22mm wide. Xiaomi took care of this question and released silicone straps in different colors of 22mm and 20mm for the 42mm version, together with the watch. Link to the purchase of branded belts is in the description. Display. The Amazfit GTR 47mm watch received a 1.39-inch AMOLED touchscreen display with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 and an oleophobic coating. The resolution is 454 by 454 pixels with 326 ppi. The image on such a display looks just amazing. There is also a display activation function via gesture that works pretty well with a minimal amount of false response. It is worth noting that the watch has auto brightness that makes display perfectly readable in bright sunny weather and does not dazzle in complete darkness. Technical specifications. The watch is equipped with Bluetooth version 5, GPS and GLONASS sensor, optical PPG heart rate sensor, 6-axis accelerometer, 3-axial geomagnetic sensor, air pressure sensor, ambient light brightness sensor, and capacitive sensor. There is also NFC, but this function is not working outside of China, which is a disadvantage from my point of view. The watch has full moisture protection of 5 ATM, with the ability to be immersed in a depth of 50 meters. Battery and autonomy. The Amazfit GTR 47mm received a 410 mAh battery that gives up to 24 days of operation, with average loads from a single charge. The model also has an energy-saving mode, and when it is activated, the watch turns off Bluetooth and pulse measuring function. In this mode, the device can work up to 74 days. In the sports activity mode with GPS tracking, the battery will be discharged in 40 hours. These indicators coincide with my tests. Therefore, you are guaranteed to receive excellent autonomy if you decide to purchase this watch. Firmware and interaction. Let's talk about the software part of the device. The watch runs on its binary firmware, which allows getting such a good autonomy. Amazfit GTR firmware is a kind of compromise between functionality and autonomy. On the one hand, we get autonomy of 24 days, but on the other limited functionality for smart watches. Although Amazfit GTR firmware has more functions compared to Amazfit BIP firmware, you should understand that this is not a smart watch with Wear OS by Google. There are 3 displays available to you after unlocking. Swipe from right to left or vice versa switches the screen from the watch face to the number of steps taken today. Another swipe and you have a heart rate measurement screen. These screens are not customizable. A long press on the watch face activates its selection. Swipe from the top to the bottom activates the curtain with some indications. The amount of remaining charge, the status of the smartphone connection and the current date. There are also some other functions such as a flashlight, very useful from my point of view, brightness control, turning on the eco mode and locking, and do not disturb mode with several different options. We get to the main menu with the swipe from the bottom to the top. The order of items in it may be changed through the companion program. We have the following categories. Notifications. Here you can view the list of all received notifications. Status information about steps taken and calories burned with a weekly schedule. Heart rate. Current heart rate and its change graphs. Workout. Here you can select and activate your workouts. There are 12 available modes. Activities. Here you may find the history of your workouts with detailed data and delete any of them if needed. Weather displays the current weather conditions such as temperature, humidity, wind, sunrise, and sunset, as well as brief weather information for 7 days. Music control. Alarm. You may set it by yourself or choose from several options. It is quite convenient if to compare with the Amazfit Bip, where you need to set the alarm from the phone. Event reminder works through Amazfit. You can make 10 reminders of 16 characters each, set the time and number of repetitions. More. This submenu contains compass, barometer, altimeter, timer, countdown and find mobile function. Settings. Here you may change the watch face. There are 2 built-in and 1 that can be installed with the Amazfit app. Set the display backlight time and adjust the functionality of the bottom button. You can also activate here always on display. The last points are: reset the watch to the factory settings, restart or turn them off. The firmware itself works quite quickly. It is easy to scroll through the menu without having any troubles. I was very pleased with the interface responsiveness. It is worth noting that, due to the nature of the firmware, notifications often show app instead of the specific application icon, but you get used to it quickly. During the incoming call, the watch displays the contact name or the number. You may hang up or put the call into silent mode. Some of the settings are performed through the Amazfit app on the phone. Here you may configure the list of applications to receive notifications on your watch. You may also set any watch face you like from those proposed in the app, or choose from the catalog on our website. All the instructions are on our forum. You can also adjust the heart rate measurement frequency, weather and, if necessary, use the function, Find My Watch. Conclusion. Amazfit GTR 47mm is an excellent smartwatch with basic features and nice classic design. The device is perfect for people who keep up with the times and live an active life. But I would not recommend them for those who are regularly engaged in sports. It is more a fashion accessory that has a function of daily activity tracking and can inform you about incoming calls and notifications. I would call the Amazfit GTR an excellent modern wearable device that, thanks to its autonomy, can become your reliable companion both for everyday life and long trips. Amazfit GTR versus Amazfit Stratos. Differences and similarities. Amazfit Stratos is the second sports watch in the Xiaomi model line. In my opinion, this device is pretty nice for beginners and amateur athletes. It looks a bit rude and not as presentable as the Amazfit GTR, which looks quite elegant and stylish. Stratos is made of plastic and has a ceramic bezel. Although both of the watches are almost the same in size, the Stratos looks bigger. The Stratos screen looks less attractive compared to the Amazfit GTR, especially in low light or backlit conditions. During regular workouts, the transflective screen is a necessity as it allows to see all the indicators in real time without additional manipulations. This helps to save time and battery life significantly. But even in everyday use without workouts, my Stratos can work up to 5 days in smartwatch mode. New Stratos 3 can work up to 7 days in smartwatch mode and up to 14 days in energy-saving mode. Although, all of this cannot be compared with the 24 days that the Amazfit GTR can work under the same conditions of use and with a stunning AMOLED display. Both devices have a sports activity tracking function with GPS recording. My tests showed that in urban areas, Amazfit GTR copes less well with GPS track recording compared to Stratos. Perhaps, GPS accuracy in GTR will be corrected in subsequent updates, but we should not expect professional accuracy from it. For example, the Amazfit Bip, which was released more than a year ago and received a dozen updates, record GPS data in the same way as Amazfit GTR now. Of course, the data error is insignificant, and the accuracy of the Amazfit GTR will be quite enough for non-regular runs in the mornings. Amazfit GTR and Stratos have a difference in firmware. Stratos runs on a modified Android, and as for me, this is more likely a disadvantage. Despite the more advanced hardware, I often face some small lags, bugs and slow interface in my Stratos. If you think that Android will allow you to expand the functionality of your watch using third-party programs, then you are mistaken. Yes, there are several applications that you can run on Stratos, but this is far from a smartwatch with Wear OS by Google. I do not recommend doing so, since autonomy may decrease with each installed application. The Amazfit GTR has a more advanced heart rate sensor than the Stratos. Although, in both cases, heart rate indicators are the same or vary by a couple of units. It is worth noting that the technology of optical heart rate measurement does not give 100% accuracy. If you need more exact and accurate figures, the best solution would be a chest pulse sensor, which can only be connected to Stratos. If you primarily need a smartwatch with the ability to track sports activity, then you definitely should choose the Amazfit GTR. If you are more interested in sports functions, then take a look at the Stratos model line. In my opinion, Amazfit GTR is the best company's smartwatch for today. They have an attractive design, all the basic functions of a smartwatch and excellent autonomy. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and write your opinion in the comments.